You're listening to the C1D Paintball Podcast.
Hey there, Andrew. Welcome to the C1D Paintball Podcast. I'm running alone today. It's a solo podcast. I'll give you the reason why. We haven't done this before. I record this at lunch on a Monday, so my little lunch break. Usually we record on Sunday nights. So last night was going to record a podcast, just a general topic one with myself, Connor, Mike, and hopefully Jeff was going to join us. But I just really didn't. I didn't feel that great. And busy week at work last week. Busy week again this week. So it's like, you know what? We'll push it back a week. As a matter of fact, our next podcast, which is recording, well, in 6 more days, so a week later than I wanted to on this Sunday, going to be a lot more structured, and I think it's going to have a little bit more energy, just the topic I did. Now, I still wanted to put something out, and that's why I'm recording this right now. And I get asked a lot about this. Now, I talk about C1D all the time, the events we've done and all that. I do make videos on our video channel about editing paintball videos and things that go into it. And I would like to bring that more into the podcast. I mentioned it before. So for this little one, I'm going to address what a lot of people asked me before. And generally speaking, people know that Monday we release an action video. As I record this, we're in our 6th straight year, so 5 complete years and counting up of having a video out every Monday. And that doesn't mean short. That's not a short. We do have shorts. As a matter of fact, since we released our 500th video in the fall of 2024, I had like 4 or 5 shorts. But now I've got a bunch, so I'm kind of embracing that. But we don't really do shorts. So overall in the scheme, I think we might have added 15 or 20 since then. But anyway, Monday is full video. It's something we're quite proud of. But people say, well, then, sometimes it's 2, 3 videos a week. Sometimes it's just 2. Hey, sometimes you post like 10 days in a row with a video. And for those who've been paying attention, usually in December, I release a lot of videos. So I wanted to talk about the release schedule, why things are, and things that aren't on the schedule, why they might drop, because I want to discuss, making content for paintball stuff, video-wise. And look, if you're looking to do that, if you do it already, you can listen to how I do it. You can criticize it. You can give me tips, or maybe you can even implement some of these things, or you're just curious to hear how that goes. Now, for those of you who are just listening to this on Spotify, I am drinking a cup of coffee, so I'm going to take a sip of that coffee now because it is fuel. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, I got well, actually, you already see what's going on, but for for Spotify, I got my C1D hat on, I got my hoodie, and the coffee cup's got a logo. There's a couple of jerseys on the back wall. There's a screen. One of my 3 screens is C1D logo. I'm only wearing this stuff because it's cold as hell. There's a polar vortex. I just like saying it that way. Really cold, so trying to stay warm even inside the house, and that's why I'm wearing this warm stuff. Also gives me a warm feeling as if I'm on the paintball field. It's June, warming up, getting humid as a matter of fact, feeling the sun on my face. Right now, the only glare on my face in reality is the glare from this paintball screen beside me. I'm going to take that sip of coffee now. That's good coffee. That's quality Java. When it's this cold out, it's hard to drink bad coffee. You just want something to warm you up. Okay, now let's start with the basics. As I mentioned, and if you watch our videos, some people listen to podcasts, but you don't watch videos, but every Monday, we're in our 6th straight year. There's usually an action video on that Monday, or a major video, like I mentioned before. It's not a short, it's not 1 or 2 minutes. And that's kind of like the little niche thing we do. Just make sure we get content out. Now, it's important to note, our videos are just regular gameplay most of the time. The vast majority of our videos. Most people play paintball, they don't play in speedball tournaments, and I don't play speedball at all. Even though I played big games and I enjoy, like, MagFed and all that. It's not like hardcore scenarios and all this all the time. Sometimes there's some more serious things, but generally speaking, those Monday videos are just regular paintball games, something we can all relate to. And I really enjoy putting that on Mondays. Look, when it comes to other things like big games and that, sometimes I put those on Monday as well. But generally speaking, you can slot in every Monday. We put out this major video to watch. I don't really pay attention on what other people that do paintball videos, how they release their schedule. But when I started up, I realized right after I'd started doing these regular Monday videos that nobody else releases on this day, so it's good. I'm not stepping on any toes in case somebody released one every Friday. I know Barker, one of the guys, I love watching his videos every week. He releases it every Saturday. I want to emphasize, I am nowhere near the league of Barker. Barker's a big league. He's the pros. I'm just an amateur hack. I don't have a goal to be as big as him because I don't have it in me. He's a god up there. I like just my own little paintball world. Us and the guys at C1D have. Another sip of coffee for those listening to Spotify. Even better than the first. So yeah, we release those videos on Mondays. Now, another regular slot that's usually every week is the music videos. I have been making the background music for our videos for the other day I was thinking like a year or two. It's like, no, it's like over 3 years, maybe even closer to 4. I have to look at it. But I have this music that goes into the background. One of our big game videos, I think it was the 4th Expeditionary Force or something like that, 3rd or 4th. All the music for like almost 3.5 hours was just original music in the background. So, but you can't necessarily hear it all the time. So I decided, I'm just going to put the music out so you can hear it. I think it's every Friday now. I basically settled into that. And I'll just have something playing in the background, like visually showing just a game action and that I try to fit in with the music. Now, is that a personal indulgence? And is that the right word? This is why I should have other people with me on the podcast. Am I indulging? Am I forcing upon paintball the music I make and sample? It's made on GarageBand, by the way. So a lot of it is sampling stuff that's there. But I did used to play in a band, played guitar, a little bit keyboards when I was in high school, many, many, many moons ago. Chicks dig that, by the way. But anyway, so there is some original music I do too. Guitar solos, even over samples. There's some songs that are all original, especially the piano pieces. But I just like putting that out there. I like putting, just background, a game in the background. Just, so people can watch it, kind of enjoy the music, watch the paintball, maybe just take them away, have them on the paintball field in their mind for 3 or 4 minutes. So I do those two. So those are the two that are basically regular. Obviously, I'll run out of music videos because I don't make the average of 52, representing the 52 weeks of the year. I don't make 52 songs every year, but I got quite a few out there. So coffee time again here. Now, let's talk about the other type of videos I do. The big one is every year, of course, Commando Action D-Day. So that'll be 1st EF, 3rd, 4th, 5th EF, and the upcoming 7 EF. That's usually the first weekend of June that we play that game. It can take me quite a while to make a video, to make the video. It's morphed into videos now. For that event, it's more of a serious one. Instead of a 2.5 hour, 3.5 hour video, last year we chopped it into 11 because it was like over 4.5 hours, and to upload that in 4K is just quite a chore, and I just thought it would be more into bite-sized pieces. So one thing you can pencil in that's basically, by the time it's released, it's in July, basically. So that's regular videos, stuff we do too, because as I mentioned, I had 11 just from the game last year. There's also promotional stuff leading into it. We had the Kaiser last year. So that's something you can schedule every single year. One regular we've been having for years is a dispatch. Kind of a news catch-all thing. I do some reviews sometimes. I talk about upgrades to the field at Warzone or something else. Kind of like sit down off topic, almost like the precursor to the podcast where you know, it might be 2, 3, 5, 6 minutes long of me just discussing a topic or something. And these drop whenever, you know, whenever I feel like it. Sometimes it's a bunch, sometimes it's just a few. Those tend to be more on Wednesdays and stuff. But that's another regular one we do. There's a couple of regular ones that are kind of just sporadic. There's paintball in pajamas. There's only been, I think, 3 or 4 of those where I just ask Connor a weird question he doesn't know about for paintball, like I haven't rehearsed before, and he asked me one back. We had fun with that. We had a couple of tier lists to do with paintball too, kind of fun stuff like that. Now, what about the times where I do put like a video, an action video out on Thursday, or I do like a bunch of videos in a row? Well, I mentioned before that the Monday video usually, I'm just going to wipe my nose here. For those of you watching, oh no, I sniffed. Now you can tell if you're listening audio-wise on Spotify. Now what was I talking about? See, it's so easy to distract me. Man, I shouldn't do these alone. Man, I should not do these alone. So we have the shorter action videos. So one might be, you'll see sometimes I call it a quickie or a shorty. So it's not really long enough or to the same standards I've established and trying to keep with Monday videos. So it's like, hey, it's only a 4.5 minute one because it was a quick game and I explained what happened in it. Even the intro is shorter. Those are the ones I won't put them on Monday. I'll put them like maybe on a Thursday just as an extra video because it's not a big feature one, but it's still one I'd like to release. Now, the other videos I do, now it's important to note how I structure what I do. And this is where I might be able to help those of you who have a YouTube channel or whether it's established, fledgling, or you're just thinking about it, that might help you in that. It's I do like to be ahead of the curve. So right now, as I record this, it's January 2025. If I go into, I'm just going to open this on another screen. You can't see it, but I swear it's there. I've got videos till May 12th, so a few months out. That's Monday videos. I've got a major Monday video all the way out there, and I think I've got 2 or 3 weeks. The last audio video, the music, is till March 28th. So I do this and I lay tracks ahead. Big reason is, well, first of all, in the winter when we're not actually playing paintball, or is not as much, maybe just an event here or there, I have time to go in the backlog and make more videos. So I punch them in and I kind of create this playlist. I plan ahead. What if I want to take a week or 2 off from making videos? I love getting up, having my cup of coffee and doing videos, but then I'll take breaks sometimes. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 3, 4 weeks. Sometimes just a couple of days. I don't want to have it over me that, oh man, I need a video for Monday. One thing about this is it's a hobby for me. If I make it like, oh no, I need to do that, becomes a chore, it won't make it fun anymore. If it's not fun anymore, I won't want to do it. So I just go with the flow and I plan ahead, and I've been lucky to stay ahead like that. Now, one big reason I do that is I mentioned the D-Day video in June. That takes a lot of time. I think last year's 11 parts I punched out in about 3, 4 weeks. I do a lot of editing before the video's made, like for the intro where I'll drop stuff, but I'll do a lot of planning like that. But for those 3, 4, up to 6 weeks it's taken me in the past to make those big videos, I just concentrate on that. So I want to have these videos at least 2 a week, being the Monday regular action video and the Friday music video, as long as the music is still there. So I want to have those in the bank. So when we play D-Day, and the Monday after D-Day, when I start laying it out, I say, you know what? I'm good for 8 weeks of videos. I can just do this, work on the D-Day and not worry about it. I always give myself at least 8 weeks. I've never had to use it, but it's just in case things get slow. What if I go on vacation? What if I right after, whatever? But I think you know what I mean. I like to build that up ahead of time. This way I don't rush. I really do try to put quality in all the videos that we put out, that I make. But for the D-Day, I do want to hold an even higher standard, at least consistency-wise and such. Time for that another sip of coffee. Look, if you're watching on YouTube, he's just overkill with all this C1D stuff everywhere. Now, what about when I put a bunch of videos out, a bunch of days in a row, or what about, I think we put over 30 videos in December out. As I go through the list of all the templates, I've mentioned it before in other videos, not the podcast, but in video creation videos. I'm saying the word video a lot. I've made tutorials on video editing, in particular paintball. So when I get in from a day of playing, throwing paint, I throw them on a file, I put them on a timeline, and I'll chop up. So if we played 10 games that day, I'll chop up and I'll have game 1 to 10 with the date down. Basic stuff I do, doesn't really take that long. So I've got effectively all these templates, these frameworks, PDF. Not PDF, sorry, it's PSD. The hell is it? I've been doing this long enough, it's just like a reflex. PDS is the master timeline file in Power Director, which is what I use. So I got a bunch of these, and sometimes they're smaller little videos. A lot of them, the short action ones and that. And if I've got an extra couple hours, it's like I may say, well, maybe I can do 2 or 3 of these. Sometimes it takes a lot more than 2 hours just for one, but I'm just throwing that out there. They accumulate. They accumulate, and at one point it's like, look, I've already been releasing 3 a week for the past 4, 5 weeks. Especially towards the end of the year, I'll look and I'll say, you know what? It's October, November. I'm going to blitz December. I've got a bunch of these videos that are just piling up because as I make these extra videos to be released on a rare Tuesday or Wednesday and that, it's like I don't want it to build up too much. I want to, some of the videos are older. It's like, let's just get them out there. They've already been waiting. And towards the end of the year, for 2 years in a row now, I look and I say, you know what? We're going to have a blitz in December. I'm going to release a bunch in a row there. Now, 24 of them this past December were the 1v1 tournament. The little individual games. They are featured in other videos, but it's like clumped in, like this is the first round, playoff round, boom. So if you want to watch the one individual ones, that was something I did this year. I had some smaller games. I had one montage that had alternate music that was really good. It's like, I'm going to release this. So that's when I kind of do a little blitz like that. And as far as shorts, which as I mentioned at the start of this little discussion, shorts I really haven't been making for too long. If I'll just come across a clip when I'm editing, and it's like, you know what, that'll make a good short. I get inspired, I make something, boom, I put it out. I'd like to get one done a week, but it's not as if I have to. Sometimes do one a week, sometimes I'll even do 2. I just go with the flow. So no, it's not a long podcast in that, but what I do is I just explain, we have the Monday videos, the major action. We have the Friday music as long as they last, and everything else kind of just falls into place by that. Even the ones that I mentioned, like the bonus ball, which is the tier list, PJs and paintball, and even the dispatch, they happen when they do. And I usually will throw them into, I actually like to throw the dispatch, pajamas and the tier list on Wednesdays. It still leaves Tuesday and Thursday if I want to throw anything else in. And yeah, I mean, there are outliers that fall in there too, that I will just put whenever. You might see it on a Saturday and a Sunday even, although I try to keep it during the weekdays. Here's a note too, is I mentioned planning out for D-Day and that big game. If we do play a second big game in a year, and we've only done that twice. The first time was just Connor and I. That was the second EF in Mirabel. Well, in 2024, we did Operation Rush, which was 4 one-hour videos. It was a pretty big production, comparable to D-Day, and I hadn't scheduled that in. So to do those 4 videos, and I released one a week for 4 weeks in a row, and still get like 30, and that was in November I did that, and to still get 30 videos out in December, like I had so many left over in months ahead, that kind of shows that the process I do works for me. So I've always got something kind of in the bank so I can take a rest, but you guys can still get your content. So I was kind of lucky with that one, where it's like all of a sudden I've got these big games to do and a little extra work because normally I ramp down that time of year, but hey, I didn't mind at all. So yeah, you know me, if you've listened to podcasts before, I will talk forever if you don't stop me. And because I'm alone, I'm just talking alone here. So that's the schedule. So I got to end it. That's it. That's a schedule I use. That's the method to the madness, so to speak. And like to hear your comments on it. Don't worry, we're going back to the regular podcast. The next time you hear it, it should be a pretty good topic. Don't want to spoil it now. But we will have more podcasts where I talk about, with other people as well, video editing, paintball, in particular for paint involving paintball. Paintball people will join it, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's just in case you're curious. A couple of people have asked me over the years, and I recently got it last week when somebody asked me about it. Like, how exactly does that work? You know, how does something qualify for a Monday, and what's the deal with the music? And I know the music isn't for everybody. I do like it. It's just one little thing I put out there, and that I personally enjoy. And over the years, since I've been doing those music videos, by the way, I take more time into what I'm showing graphically on it as well. Probably get into that in one of the podcasts coming up about the music and that, because music I think is key to a paintball video. Oh my gosh. That was not a segue I planned. New series of videos I started last week. I figure I'd like to do one every second week, maybe for this year. That's a lot of videos. I'm committing to 26 more videos, but raw footage. It doesn't have music. It doesn't have graphic enhancements. In one case, because I think I've got 4 or 5 in the bank right now, in one case, I did have to jack up and mess the audio on the track because it was just messed up. I had to do it or it was unusable otherwise. But that's another series as well. That's going to be every second Thursday. I mentioned about, I'll put a short in there when you have 3 in 1 week because you got your Monday action, Friday music. On Thursday, you'll have a short. And the Thursday after, instead of a short, it's going to be this raw footage video. As that, at least for the near future, hoping to get a bunch of those in this year. Again, another little series that when I'm editing a video, a regular video that I sit and I talk about stuff, or I'm looking at an older video where if it's a big game, or just say the good old days at Arnold's or LaSalle Paintball, and I'll watch something and, I'm talking and I'm flipping cameras, but I'll look at the raw footage of a play and something. I go, you know what, that would be a cool isolated thing. It's about 5 or 6 minutes. And I did this little series. Haven't gotten a lot of feedback on it yet because I just have the one that was released just not even a week ago. But I think it's very usable, and it's just one of the things I've got out there. I did mention about montages as well, where I'll play music and I'll have like clips on it. I got one releasing soon called Darkness, to do with video playing at night. And it's not necessarily the action. The music is really big in that one, and it's just clips from playing at night. At one point, you'll just see like lights flashing, and it was raining that night, just misty. So the camera's got water on it. My mask has water. It's just an ambiance type thing. So I like montages like that too. I've done funny ones, serious ones, just something else that I throw in the mix. And if this sounds like a lot, people are saying, well, that's a lot of different things, Andrew. Look, I'm not going to do videos necessarily for other people. I need to do things, so primarily I like making it, so I keep making them. And adding a little variety to that is one way of doing it. And I don't get me wrong, I like it when people watch the videos, but I'm not here just like, I want to get thousands of views. I want to get thousands of followers and all that. If it happens, it happens, but I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to show what our group does, and me and my group, Connor and everything, and just add a little levity, some funny stuff, some different, sometimes bizarre stuff, just to show our little world and have fun with that. And yeah, I keep talking on here again and again. Best advice I can give you is just what I said there. If you want to make music, if you want to make paintball videos, do something you want to do so that you're happy with it. You'll improve if you're starting, if you're not at quite a certain level yet. Just make sure it stays fun. Part of the fun for me is adding the variety of the different series, the different schedule I have for you. And I hope at least some of you enjoy it. yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. Back to our regular podcast thing with the boys, but you'll have more of these where I talk more about video editing and the channel and all that, and hope you can find it worth your time. Once again, thank you. Remember, go out there, make the best of your day, not just at a paintball game, because at the end of the day, it's just a game. At the end of the day, it's the only life you get. So have fun, be nice to people. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like us, rate us, and tell everybody about us. Thanks for listening.